We'll have the complete story of the historic Voyager landing tonight at 5 o'clock and at 6 p.m. Some of the other stories we're following at midday. General Motors is reportedly considering the permanent shutdown of up to 3 more of its production facilities. GM Vice President William Hoagland says one of the candidates for closing is the assembly plant in Leeds, Missouri, which employs 4,000 people. He did not name the other 2, but other company officials have named plants in Van Nuys, California and Framingham, Massachusetts. At noon today, GM Chairman Rodgers will deliver his annual Christmas address to GM employees. Top officials with Ford and General Motors are applauding a recommendation that U.S. fuel economy standards be eliminated. A task force headed by Vice President George Bush made that recommendation after a review of those regulations. The standards went into effect about 10 years ago. Chrysler, the only domestic automaker able to meet the regulations, is blasting the recommendation. Wayne County Sheriff Robert Fulgham has won his battle against Wayne County officials who he said were not giving him enough help running the Wayne County Jail. Channel 7's Chris Hansen was in Detroit today and has this report.
After 15 years of political bickering, it appears we may have a solution today to end the overcrowding problem in the Wayne County Jail. Wayne County Circuit Court Judge Richard Kaufman today found the county in violation of law. That resulting from a lawsuit brought by Wayne County Sheriff Robert Fulgham. Fulgham had claimed he wasn't getting the support he needed from the county to run the jail properly. The judge also today put together a 7-member panel of politicians, prosecutors, and judges to come up with a solution to the overcrowding problem and maybe find a new jail by March 1st. The judge was stringent in what he wanted to have completed. He said that if the politicians didn't cooperate, they may be looking at jail time or possible fines. From the Wayne County Circuit Court, I'm Chris Hansen, Channel 7 Action News, reporting.
Warren police are investigating a triple shooting at a motel on 8 Mile Road near Ryan. They say an unidentified man shot 2 people at the Suez Motel shortly before 2 o'clock this morning before apparently turning the gun on himself. One of the wounded people, a 22-year-old woman, escaped with a flesh wound, but a 20-year-old man is in critical condition with 2 gunshot wounds. The suspect is clinging to life at this hour. Police say they will file charges against him if he recovers. He's home again after 7 long years of exile, and still he's speaking out fearlessly on human rights issues. Walter Rodgers reports on Soviet dissident Andrei Sakharov's triumphant return to Moscow.
Sakharov got a hero's reception from the news media on his return to Moscow after nearly 7 years in internal exile. And he said he still does not know why Soviet leader Gorbachev released him.
I don't know the answer. Sooner or later, they had to free me.
The Nobel Peace Prize winner indicated a willingness to leave the Soviet Union, but he doubted the authorities would ever let him go, given his work on the Soviet hydrogen bomb. Still, there was no apparent fear of Soviet authorities as he vowed to speak out for all prisoners of conscience in this country.
What's happening now is only a small step of what should be happening, but it's very important.
Sakharov was swept forward in a sea of cameras and reporters, and even the presence of Soviet police did not deter him from again calling Afghanistan the most unhealthy part of Soviet foreign policy. Other Soviet dissidents hailed Sakharov's release, but they were suspicious of their government's action.
The Soviet administration is trying to polish the image, and it's happening not because of the changes which are coming, just because of the pressure from the West.
Perhaps we'll never know Mr. Gorbachev's motive for releasing Dr. Sakharov. Was it Western pressure, or are things changing here? Sakharov himself said he didn't know, but he also said he's keenly interested in everything that's happening in his country now. Walter Rodgers, ABC News, Moscow.
Anglican Church envoy Terry Waite says violence in Beirut will delay his return there, where he has been trying to negotiate the release of hostages. He had planned to go there for Christmas. Sources say he is trying to reestablish contacts broken in the wake of the discovery of U.S. arms sales to Iran. In Washington this week, the Christmas spirit, so evident in other areas of the nation, has been dampened considerably by the ongoing Iran scam hearings. Channel 7's Malin Jennings reports from Washington via News Star 7.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, the President of the United States.
It's Christmas week, a week the President has set aside almost entirely for ceremonial appearances. At a public signing ceremony yesterday, there was no mention, no indication of the 12 separate organizations now investigating the Iran-Contra scandal. Whether or not it's evident at the White House, those investigations continue. Today, for instance, the new independent counsel, Lawrence Walsh, will review names of people to staff his inquiry. And on Capitol Hill, the House Intelligence Committee will hold yet another hearing. The committee will hear from retired Air Force General Richard Secord. The arms dealer had worked as a military liaison with Iran. Now the committee wants to know about his involvement in the U.S. arms sale to that country. In Washington, Malin, Jennings reporting.
Free gun runner Eugene Hassenfuss is apparently looking for a new job. An employment service worker in Wisconsin quotes Hassenfuss as saying he'll take anything as long as it's legal this time. Hassenfuss arrived home from Nicaragua last week. He may be asked to testify in Congress to tell what he knows about the Iran scam's arms sale. In New York City, 3 white youths have been charged with second-degree murder in the death of a black man who was beaten and then hit by a car. Bill O'Reilly reports on a killing that has one Queens neighborhood up in arms.
There is anger on the streets of Queens in the aftermath of the death of 23-year-old Michael Griffith. Last Saturday morning, Griffith was hit and killed by a car as he was fleeing from a gang of white teenagers. The youths attacked Griffith and 2 other black men with baseball bats. The incident took place in the overwhelmingly white area of Howard Beach, where feelings between blacks and whites run hard.
Don't you talk to nobody about rape, because y'all raped people for 400 years. That's why we got light-skinned Negroes. You want to use the gun, we'll use the gun.
Black leaders in New York are outraged over the death of Griffith.
This is not Selma 1950. This is not Mississippi. This is New York Christmas 86. And black kids are still being ran over parkways.
And City Hall has vowed it will not tolerate further racial incidents.
And this city will rise up in its wrath against those who perpetrated that monstrosity and those who support it.
Police believe the high crime rate in and around Howard Beach has heightened tensions between blacks and whites. But historically, the causes of racism are many. It is the solutions that are few. Bill O'Reilly, ABC News, Queens, New York.
Coming up, Rob says this unseasonably warm weather will continue through today, and he's going to tell us what our odds are for getting some snow on Christmas morning when Action News Midday continues. Stay with us.
Deck the halls with Sports Illustrated wanted me to talk to you sports fans out there, and also to you people who love them. Christmas is coming, and if there's someone on your list who's interested in sports, give them Sports Illustrated. It's America's #1 sports magazine. You fans know I'm big on sports. On the other hand, I'm also sensitive, warm, caring, kind of a teddy bear with muscles. So you folks can trust me to help you find a great gift. You fans are gonna love the week after week of action-packed coverage.
And you'll love it because now Sports Illustrated is over 60% off the cover price.
54 big issues starting with a double blockbuster.
The eagerly awaited Sportsman of the Year. Then you'll charge down the field for the bowl games, the NFL playoffs, and Super Bowl 21.
But you don't have to go anywhere. Just call and order Sports Illustrated. No crowds, no returns. Nobody brings you basketball like this. The picks, the predictions, the pounding action under the hoop. Look at these guys. The body blows, the body checks, even a little body English. Then you'll swing into the summer game. These guys play baseball like I play football. Football! That's right. Before you know it, it's time for another season of the leading rushers, the Bone Crushers. Hey, you'll get all your favorite sports. And you'll get an attractive card that you could sign and give to your fan.
So order now and save over 60% off a full year of Sports Illustrated.
Call
1-800-621-7600. Then we'll include the baseball, football, and basketball previews plus the swimsuit issue, all for 3 payments of $14.98. And you won't be billed until next year. So call 1-800-621-7600.
Make it a Merry Christmas all around. You sports fans will be happy. You people who love them will be happy. I feel kind of like Santa Claus. Another sensitive big guy.
Personally, I could use some sunshine around here, but you're getting a lot of calls for snow, aren't you?
A lot of people are looking for snow for Christmas, but I think our chances are dwindling fast. We have rain in the forecast for tomorrow, and it looks like for tomorrow night and on in through Christmas Day. Right now, temperature's not too bad out there, 32 degrees, winds out of the southwest at 10 miles an hour, the pressure 30.22 steady, and the humidity at 85%. A little bit of cloud cover going on around the Great Lakes region at the present time, thinning out back off to the west of us. Most of the heavy stuff is right down here in southern Illinois, Indiana, back around through the St. Louis area and southward. all the way on down into the Gulf of Mexico. You can see some thin cloud cover right around the Wisconsin-Illinois border, Chicago, back out to the west, little break over Lake Michigan, and some light cloud cover going on over southern lower Michigan at the present time. And as we move into the afternoon hours of today and on into the evening hours tonight, you can see this activity right here is going to slowly slide up toward Michigan and possibly move into the Detroit area later on tonight. For today, this is again where it has all been occurring right here to the south of us with mild winds coming in out of the southwest. Little high pressure center down around the Virginias is helping that mild air to move in here. Now, for tonight, this will be the leading edge of it, stretching right across the Traverse City area, down across Oscoda, and some of that cloud cover again is slowly moving in a north-northeasterly direction toward the early evening hours. Later on tonight, as we mentioned, a good possibility of seeing some raindrops in the Detroit area. Almost said snowflakes, but raindrops in the Detroit area. Mild conditions tomorrow with winds out of the southwest and rain pushing in a northerly direction for Wednesday, kind of off and on throughout the day. And you can see right there it starts to begin to clip southeastern lower Michigan, and we're looking for kind of a dreary, drizzly day, but temperatures are going to be on the mild side for Wednesday. Back out to the west, some colder air that will eventually move down through, but it looks like this mild air and these mild conditions will continue in the Detroit area all the way on in through Christmas, along with the rain all the way on in through Christmas. Some light cloud cover out there at the present time, 27 degrees at Marquette, 32 at the Sioux, 35 degrees in Alpena, 33 in Saginaw, 34 degrees in Lansing, and 34 degrees the current temperature at City Airport. Now, more specifically, here's our forecast beginning with this afternoon for the Detroit area. Lots of clouds out there, mild temperatures with highs from 37 to 39 degrees. We'll have southwesterly winds at 5 to 15 miles per hour. Then for tonight, cloudy skies with a chance of rain, low temperatures down below freezing. Could get a little tricky out there during the evening hours. And then for Wednesday, cloudy skies with a chance of rain.
Well, they got such small mouths.
We're going to put him back. See that, Katie?
She refused to talk with us on camera, but did not deny the steering. Random tests like this are increasingly producing court suits and sizable fines against real estate dealers.
The forces that are acting tend to be, very enamored of me, and he seemed to do that pretty well.
All right. We'll be right back. But first, we have a message here.
So he started me, he introduced me to food. Really, I don't even bother with a knife and fork anymore. I just shovel it right in. Really.
But you're gonna get off of that now?
I'm going to try to get off it. I've seen some other kids my age, and they all look spectacular, because they're all lifting weights and everything, so.
Yeah, but that can get out of hand. That emphasis, I think California starts.
For the holidays and perfect for the NHL tonight. This Bud's for all you do. Smith surveying the situation. Napier, Krushelnyski, McTavish up front. McTavish fires the puck in.
Nice imported Belgian endive, selling at fairly reasonable prices. Each leaf makes a nice vegetable for hors d'oeuvre. You can slice up the mushrooms. There's beautiful red and green bell peppers. There's some nice sweet anise. And believe me, folks, if you haven't eaten sweet anise, you certainly should, because it has a very, very delicious licorice flavor. Now, folks, when it comes to a dip, let's get away from those cheese dips or some of those other dips that are high in fat. Make yourself a nice guacamole dip. Now, if you're going to do so, then you have to go for the Hass variety of avocado. They contain a lot of oil, and that's what you need. Avoid those with green skin because they don't have enough oil to make a good guacamole dip. This is Joe Carcione, your greengrocer, with your tip for the day.
When we come back, I'll show you the very latest diagnostic techniques used on a serious learning problem that is often misdiagnosed when Action News Midday continues.
This number could change your life. How? Ask John Fulgham.
Well, when the dentist told me that I was going to have 7 teeth pulled out and have them replaced, I immediately thought of my grandparents and the inconveniences they went through as far as dentures.
For John and thousands like him, there's another answer to tooth loss, a procedure called dental implants.
My husband can't tell the real ones from the implant. He thinks they look so natural.
From a single tooth to an entire mouth, Dental implants provide a reliable alternative to partial plates or dentures.
I never wanted a removable bridge.
Today, there are dentists all over the country who specialize in changing people's lives with dental implants. If you'd like more information, call us at 1-800-334-2000. The phone call's free. And the implants?
You're going to say, why didn't I do this earlier? Because it's great.
Why go to one New Year's Eve party when you can come to 7? Thomas Crystal Gardens invites you to the Mega Party. A different party in every room with mega hits, mega bands, and mega discs. You can party down to the 50s sound or let yourself go to all your Motown favorites. Thomas Crystal Gardens New Year's Eve Mega Party. The only thing not mega about it is the price. Tickets are only $20 at the door or get them early at their Premier Center box office, Ticket World outlets, or order by phone at 264-1111. Doors open at 7:30. Don't miss it.
The perfect gift for everyone on your list. An AT&T long-distance gift certificate. The people present.
It's a lovely cat, Tommy. Cow? Of course, cow.
A gift that speaks from the heart.
Don came down with a cold, and guess who got the job?
AT&T long-distance gift certificates. Get a cute and cuddly bear free when you buy 2 $25 gift packs at Comerica Bank. AT&T, the right choice.
More than half of America's crop of recent fathers sometimes doubt they are the real father of their child. According to a California psychologist, most of their fears are based less on the imagined infidelity of their wives than on the insecurity brought on by being part of something as important as the creation of life. More than a quarter of the new fathers, however, did admit to having affairs late in their wives' pregnancies because they say they felt abandoned by their spouses. When an otherwise intelligent and healthy child has difficulty learning to read, the problem could be dyslexia, an often misdiagnosed learning problem. Today, Channel 7's Dr. Art Uleen continues his series of reports on this complex disorder.
Dyslexia is the term used to describe the problem when otherwise intelligent and healthy children have difficulty learning to read, write, spell, or deal with numbers. Most experts believe that dyslexia is a neurological problem. Doctors have been unable to come up with an effective treatment for it, but the teachers who work with these children day in and day out must deal with it. These dyslexic children are indistinguishable from their peers in the so-called normal classrooms, except for the ways in which they learn to handle language. They just can't do it the conventional way. 10-year-old Regis, for example, has to actually feel the letters of the alphabet before he can fix them in his mind and use them. These children often see letters backwards. The same children may have trouble telling left from right or up from down. For 8-year-old Matt, the main roadblock to learning is a short attention span. He can learn to handle language, but only when there are no distractions to fuel his hyperactivity.
Jam. Okay, good.
In addition to being hyperactive, these particular children do not process auditory information the way others do. They have difficulty sounding out words one letter at a time.
Did. Soft. Big.
Children like 10-year-olds Lisa and Andy, who are more than a year behind others their age, often must start all over with the very first basics. Most of the children in these classes will catch up and outgrow their need for special help by the time they are teenagers. But a few will never be able to handle language the same way others do. For them, the value of special education is twofold. It helps them keep up while they're in school, and it gives them the tools they need in the world outside school.
When the child leaves the school setting, it's critically important for him to be aware of how he learned best in school, because this way he will know how he can learn new